Is cryptocurrency about to fall off of the cliff, seeing our beloved Dogecoin, seeing Bitcoin go to levels that we have not seen in a very long time now? Or are we about to see the market turn around here? Is this a fake dump down that is going to scare some people off before we do see this major run? A lot of interesting evidence coming into play here. And on this channel, we have been saying since the very beginning of this tumultuous market started that we could see Bitcoin going down to around 30K before it does bounce up again if some of the worst factors hop into place. And a couple of them are looking, unfortunately, like they may happen here. Now, it all comes down to perspective. Some of these things are really good for you if you're invested in certain aspects of the economy. They could be terrible for you if you're invested in other aspects. So it's all about gives and takes, winners and losers. And the goal here in this community is for all of us to be the big winners at the end of the day. And that's important. The more we are winning, the better off our community is. So make sure you come subscribe with the notifications on, join the channel. You're also welcome to come and join our Patreon. We have a big fun swing pick coming soon. The fun swing picks, the most risky ones. And those are the ones I'm not necessarily going to be supporting big time. It's really more just for fun. The ones I support big time are the big swing picks. So make sure that you know that distinction between the two of them. This is not the same as some of the other picks, but it's still going to be a lot of fun though, and you're definitely going to want to be part of the Patreon. If you do join, you can hopefully see some nice profits by being part of the group, by picking some cool coins there that have potential. We can find hidden gems, and then all as a community go in and show some strength to those, which will then get more community's attention, and hopefully will continue to go up. And even those new people that come in will also see some nice profits as well. I mean, I think that's the important thing to remember overall, even though, you can look at it, some people look at it a different way. But as you come in, it's time to talk about exactly what's happened in the market over the last 24 hours and why it has happened. Bitcoin falls to 1 month low as Fed basically takes down and decides to shrink the balance sheet. They are revealing that after a December conference that just happened. Now, if you're wondering what the heck is going on here, basically what we're seeing is the debt is continuing to climb like crazy. We're now at $29 trillion. To give you some perspective, only approximately 20 years ago, the debt was more than 20 trillion less than this. So just in that short period of time, we've accumulated an insane amount of debt. It's continued to go crazy and go crazy and go crazy. And each new group of politicians that has come in has increased that debt even more massively. And now this year, it's gone absolutely crazy. I mean, we're talking about approximately 6.8 billion or trillion rather in spending compared to a budget that was at around 3 trillion. So we're talking about going close to $4 trillion over the budget. Truly mind-boggling numbers in a single year. I mean, nothing like this has ever happened. It's unprecedented spending that is causing record inflation, insane numbers, and it could get way worse from here. But there is a little bit of hope from the side of the government if you are worried about the debt. Now, that's kind of weird because if you want cryptocurrency to go up, then you probably want them to be continuing to have problems with the debt, so people feel scared and then want to go into cryptocurrency. But we don't want people to feel scared, but we also want cryptocurrency to go up. So there's kind of this weird conundrum here of whose side do you want to be on, which side do you want to win, and it really comes down to if you have a lot of money in crypto, you probably are more likely to be wanting crypto to do well, and if you have a lot of money in the dollar or in other assets that are directly associated with that market, then maybe you're going to be a little bit more worried. But Federal Reserve puts wheels in motion for balance sheet reduction. Basically, this is from minutes from the Fed's December indication, and they're saying that they are ready to aggressively dial back policy help. Because of the situation in the world, we've seen huge amounts of funding going towards people. Huge checks being paid out to people. Huge help for businesses. All of that with money that we never really had as a country to begin with because we were so massively in debt even before this happened, which is why you're not supposed to get in too much debt, right? Because then you have more money to be able to pay off stuff like that when a crisis does happen. But one key aspect from this is the central bank's balance sheet. It was subject to extreme discussion where policymakers are pointing to a reduction in bond holdings in the coming months. Basically, what we're going to see is approximately 8.3 trillion in treasury and mortgage-backed securities. That's going to be starting to come down. They're not going to hold as much debt, and they're going to be paying off some of it. Members also expressed concern about inflation and said the jobs market is nearing full employment, which is actually kind of a stretch because a lot of those jobs are not actually desirable jobs. They've just been created and are put out there, and yet there's also a lot of openings in the market as well where people can't even find people to come in and fill those jobs because of how crazy the market has been lately. So it's just a really interesting time, and overall the market is not good right now in terms of how the economy is going. But stocks as well, they did fall a decent amount after this news came out. And with that, crypto fell as well. So what we saw with stocks is this. Stocks basically decided to go, ooh, interest rate worries stock market. Look at this. NASDAQ sinks more than 3%. Oh no, 3%. How can they possibly manage these terrible losses? It's awful. It's terrible. 3%. Well, that's cute, stock market. You fell 3%. Let's take a look at the crypto market. Down 7.6% today. So the stock market thinks it's cute. It's come on, that's nothing, stock market. You could at least give us a 5% or something there. But what's interesting about this is it's not just that the stock market, when it falls less. It also, when it goes up less. When the crypto market goes crazy, we see huge gains in short periods of time. The stock market is no longer really capable of doing that unless you find a gem stock like Tesla and you find it early. But this is what we've seen with the individual cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin down 7% in just the last 24 hours. Now 43,000, getting close. My prediction was 30 to 35,000 that it could fall down to before we do see the next run if the negative side happens. Unfortunately, it's looking more and more negative throughout this, but it doesn't mean it's necessarily going to go all the way down to that number. It just means that you should be a little bit more cautious with your holdings. Still, I highly encourage you to not be a paper hander and just completely liquidate your holdings. If you're going to sell some, sell the amount you need to sell. Be careful there and be smart about it. That's the way to handle it right there. As we are seeing as well, Ethereum at 3,498, down 8%. So a big fall for Ethereum today as well. Dogecoin not anywhere near what Solana did. Solana fell 10.88%, so close to 11% today. And Dogecoin down around 7.7%, so around the same as Bitcoin has fallen. A little bit more, but around the same. It is not the worst faller of the day, nowhere near some of the top biggest fallers of the last 24 hours in the top 100, but still obviously not a good thing to see. Like AXS, for example, fell 17%, and as we go down the board, we see a lot of these fell huge amounts. So it's just interesting to watch that and kind of get an idea of what's happening in the markets. Some people, oh, we got a chat here. Shiba Doge to the moon, says Nicholas. I've not heard too much about that coin before. Does it have a small market cap? If it does, I mean, you know, maybe in people's best interest to put a tiny bit in and just see what happens. I don't know. I'll have to look into it more because some of these are scam coins, so you got to be careful. But okay, we got another chat. Shiba Doge mooning today. We love you, Matt. So because we got two big chats about it, we'll go ahead and pull it up real quick and check it out, and then we'll continue on with the story of the day. I'm interested now, what is that? Now, typically, I'm not a big believer in coins that copy other coins unless they have something cool about them. But sometimes there are cool ones, and you know, it's an interesting way to go about the market altogether. But let me go ahead and pull it up here. So it's called SHIB Doge. I'm gonna check it out. When in doubt, zoom out, says Leonardo. There we go. That's some good advice there. SHIB Doge crypto. Hopefully we can find it here. Crypto price. If we can't find it, then oh well. I guess we won't be able to look at it. Here we go. I think this is it on CoinMarketCap. Let's see how big it is. It's ranked 3,000. It looks like it has Shiba and a Doge on it. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, it looks like it's gone up around 61% in the last 24 hours. So one of the ones that has gone up, and the market cap doesn't seem to be too big. I don't know. To be honest, I'm a little skeptical of this. I am skeptical. Maybe I'll look into it more, but I don't know. I mean, here's what could make sense. If you want to put a little bit of money in now and just see what happens, maybe it could work. And we'll see. We'll have to continue to monitor this. I may actually think that's a little bit better of a chart than some of the other ones that I've been seeing. So interesting one there. I'll definitely look into it more, and maybe, you know what, maybe we'll talk about it on tomorrow's show. In fact, I could certainly see that happening. But also, there's an interesting update with Forbes. Elon Musk now worth $290 billion, so getting closer to $300 billion. Truly insane to see him rising that much. Down 3% today, but part of that is mainly because of Tesla stock going crazy. And Jeff Bezos, look at that. He's now fallen to number 3, which I think is hilarious. So Jeff went from his prime spot in the #1 real estate area there all the way down to 3. Jeff, what the heck are you doing? Do we need to pull some roast music? I think we absolutely do need to pull out some roast music here and get the roast of Jeff Bezos underway for falling that far. Oh my gosh, a measly 193 billion. I don't even know how he's going to find shelter or food with that small amount of money there. He may just have to go and ask Elon Musk if he can stay with him in his $50,000 house, so at least he has somewhere to stay. I don't know how he's going to manage that. I don't know. But let me go ahead and pull up the roast music here. Here's the roast music. Jeff, you've had it coming for a while. Jeff Bezos, Your rocket went all the way up so high. Well, okay, it didn't even go into orbit, just like your net worth, which didn't even go into orbit either, as it fell directly down. Now you're in the number 3 spot, and that probably makes you very upset. Most people will be like, okay, I got 109 billion, I don't really care. But Jeff clearly seems to really have a problem with this, as he desperately would like to be number 1 based on all the indications I'm seeing. He also very much does not like Elon Musk, which really makes this even more beautiful. It's more icing on the cake there, so you love to see that, and it's definitely a lot of fun. Oh, Diana says, patience with Dogecoin and a heart emoji. You love to see that. Hey, Matt, what do you think will cause the next Doge spike? Also not selling Doge to the moon, says Dogecoin and Dad. Now, I did make a tweet referencing a plan that Elon Musk has that he's working on, and I think it's time to go ahead and reveal some information about that. And that is, Elon Musk, the Dogecoin Foundation, basically alluded with an official post they made that they're working on a secret Starlink plan with Elon Musk. Now, that's a big deal. Dogecoin, Starlink, Elon Musk, I mean, that can truly change the game for Doge, because you can imagine satellites all across the globe that allow you to do free transactions anywhere. We've been hyping that up for a while, but I think the secret plan they're working on is just a big deal. And Diana tweeted about it, which I think is awesome. And then there was also a reference in that tweet to some secret plans I'm working on, and I can confirm they're going to be awesome, right? But I can't say too much about it. All I can let you know right now is that it involves Robinhood, and I have been talking to Vlad Tiniv some about this, and hopefully we'll be able to see this plan go forward fully. Now, it's not fully confirmed yet, which is why I can't talk about it, and so we don't know all the details or exactly how it's going to happen. But basically, the goal is for all of us as a community, especially the leaders, especially the people who have positions of influence, positions of power, or if you have a blue check mark on Twitter, make sure to use that blue check mark to be able to reach out to people. That's one of the reasons I've been saying on Twitter for a while and on my show, let's try to get the Matt Wallace Twitter account to have that blue verification badge, because then when I DM people to work on cool projects for Dogecoin, they're more likely to respond. When I follow people, celebrities, they're more likely to see it. When I use my influence or our community's influence to do something cool, it just gives us that extra step up. So that's why those are two big plans, and I mean, secret may be a little bit of an exaggeration, but not really. I mean, the truth is, these are secret plans because no one knows what they are. And the idea of a secret plan is just exciting. If you don't love secret plans, if you're not having fun thinking about Dogecoin and the future of it, then what the heck are you doing? Come be part of the community in a bigger way and just have fun with that. As we do see Rakesh saying, everyone should tweet Elon save Dogecoin. The truth is, Elon doesn't even have to save Dogecoin. The community will save Dogecoin on its own. Elon's just going to make that saving of Dogecoin significantly more of a boost. He's going to take it to the stratosphere. He's going to absolutely change the game for Dogecoin with some of these plans, and the Dogecoin Foundation actually publicly saying that they're working on that secret plan is a huge deal, and you love to see that. And I would love as well, Elon Musk, if you're watching right now, we know Elon Musk has watched some of the show in the past. I would love to work with you on some of that stuff, so if I can do anything to help, or if you just want to have some cool brainstorming stuff to have fun ideas for Dogecoin and to make it the cryptocurrency of Earth, reach out to me on Twitter, Elon. I would love to talk to you and figure something out, and it would just be a lot of fun. I think it'll be cool. And yeah, that's definitely true. At Elon Musk, hashtag save Dogecoin, says Dogecoin Dad. I think a better tag than save Dogecoin would be, let's make Dogecoin awesome again, or something like that. I mean, it is still awesome for the majority of people still in it, but a lot of people don't realize the awesomeness that's coming. A lot of people are still underrating it. So if we do a hashtag, something along those lines, maybe not, I don't think save Dogecoin's right, because it doesn't really need to be saved. It's already pretty dang awesome as it is, but maybe take Dogecoin to the next level, Elon, or something like that, to the next level, to the moon, you know, something along those lines. I could definitely see working well. And with our community, the size we have, the energy we have, we can absolutely make hashtags trend. I mean, we did that before. We made thank you Elon trend, and he responded to us on Twitter. We've had a couple of conversations with Elon about a few random things on Twitter, which is definitely always cool, because it's, we all look up to him. He's such an influential figure, and it's actually a little bit humbling to see Elon coming in and talking to us. You definitely love to see that. Then we also have Samantha Lee with the chat saying Zelda Inu will be promoted by Wall Street Bets tomorrow. Interesting. That's a cool chat coming in. Then we have some people saying Elon's trying to extend the human race before it destroys itself. Oh, that's a little bit of a glim tweet, but yeah, I mean, he is trying to help extend human existence past Earth, and it's an admirable goal. You love to see that, but you love to see that a lot more than you love to see the market going down. Let's go ahead and take a look at the chart of Bitcoin, because I think it's a good thing to look at overall. Basically, this year, this is what the chart of Bitcoin has done. We've seen consistently up, down, up, down twice in a row. And when you zoom out even more, when you go to all, you can see a bigger picture. This is what it looks like, the entire market. So we have seen that big spike that happened all the way around 3 years ago, then now, or 4 years ago at this point, then came down here, went up a little bit again, then came down, and then boom, the crazy blast off. Then now it seems to have an upward trajectory, and that's a very positive thing, because this low is much higher than that low, and that low is much higher, or much lower than that low, which is much higher than the previous. So you kind of see that upward trend line going there, and hopefully it'll continue to funnel its way as people do start to get more worried about inflation. Now the government, what they've been doing to try to tamp down on it is not going to work fully. It will help some, and that's obviously a positive thing, but they're not going to fix the problem that is just way too big to solve at this point. I mean, that debt is absolutely crazy, and so you cannot, under any circumstances, underrate the ability for the government to screw things up. That's what they do. They're a giant screw-up machine, and you can call them Bob the Builder, because all they're going to do is go in with a massive screwdriver and screw it up. Maybe we should roast the government. I don't know. No, it's okay. We'll leave them alone tonight. We already roasted them enough. And Steven says, watching Final Stand in the metaverse on the moon with Bone Saw COC. Yeah, that's pretty dang cool. The metaverse, a lot of fun is happening in there. It's COC is the cryptocurrency. Unfortunately, when the market goes down, we do see all cryptos, especially small market cap ones, falling some. So that's not good. But the long-term future is just so unbelievably bright. It doesn't even bother me when cryptos like that go down a little bit, because you know in the future they're just going to go crazy. Thoughts on Zelda Inu looking extremely bullish, says Nick. Now, I did when it was up higher, I did say be careful here, because basically the amount of wallets compared to the total market cap does look a little bit scary. Now, that doesn't mean it can't go up more, because sometimes it does, but basically, here's the actual truth. This has approximately a 1 in 5 chance to go up higher, based on the previous tokens we've seen. Now, the team does seem to be a little bit better. I do like the guy. I've been texting with one of them, because he's giving me updates on it. So the team does seem to be a little bit better, really, maybe a lot better than some of the other teams, but the team being good doesn't necessarily have anything to do with if the coin goes up or not. That is really just about luck. And so there's not necessarily a high chance, but there is a chance. And so I wouldn't absolutely be opposed. I wouldn't be opposed to it at all if you want to put some money into that. I think it's definitely smart to be taking multiple bets and hoping some of them pay off massively. What is your take on Zelda Inu? Well, there we go. I just gave you my take on it. And now I'm not sure who organized this. I imagine in the chat of that coin, they said, hey, everyone go do some chats on Matt's live. So I appreciate that very much. And I wish you guys all the best. And I will say, absolutely, the team there, they have some people who really know what they're doing. They seem to be based mostly in the United States from what I'm seeing. I don't know if that's for sure true, but that's a positive thing. And they do seem to all be actually doxed publicly. People know who they are. Another positive thing. So everything I'm seeing about this project makes it better than a lot of the other ones out there. But then again, it's still a risk when you have that many people investing and you have the market cap that high. So I'm a little scared, and I hate to say that. I wish I could tell you it was just going to go to the moon forever, and maybe it will, but you know, that's all I'm going to say is be cautious. But if you're going to put your money into anything that you have to be cautious about, if you're going to take any big bet, that is not a bad one, to be honest. But Dogecoin is going to 10 cents, says Jerry Pierre. Now, if Bitcoin does fall to 30K, yeah, we'll see Dogecoin go somewhere around 10 to 14 cents in that range. Now, we may not see it fall all the way to 10, but just keep in mind that is not the likely thing to happen here. It is something that is increasingly decreasing when it comes to the likelihood as we do see the market factors change. Now, this news here was kind of pretty pushing it in terms of making the market go down, and it only caused a fall of 7%. So that's right there, some reassurance that there are still lines of support in crypto. There are still people who are holding the line and making sure it doesn't fall too far. Matt, when will Dogecoin hit $1? Now, the answer to that question basically comes down to, when will we see the next major catalyst? Now, the first thing that could cause it to go up a decent amount is Robinhood wallets. If people are spending like crazy, if we start seeing a bunch of companies accepting really quickly along those lines with partnerships and things, which by the way is part of what we're working on, right? And part of what they're working on, especially. But if we do see that happening, then it's going to cause the use case to go up massively, the amount of people holding it to go up massively, and boom, right through, we could see a huge amount of energy that surges in and makes Dogecoin go past $1. Then the next chance beyond that, where we could see it going crazy, is just simply the community itself causing a spike of their own by starting to see go up a little bit, and then people try to FOMO in. That's really the biggest X factor, because it can happen at any point in time, and it can happen for no reason. In fact, it has before. But the coolest thing to think about is the Elon Musk side of things, because he has multiple huge plans, from the moon landing to Starlink, that he's doing for fun because he likes Dogecoin. It's not about making money for him. It's just about having fun, having his reputation be awesome. That's what he gets out of it, right? He has his reputation be awesome. He has fun, and he also has cool things to talk about. His family probably has fun with him. It's a cool family activity doing Dogecoin. And so with all of those things, you can understand why Elon Musk gets so much out of Dogecoin, just like the Dogecoin community gets so much out of Elon Musk. It's like a fun existence together. You love to see it. Added, oh yeah, that's definitely true. So with the Patreon, we are going to be definitely stepping up what we're doing there in terms of updates and picks, and making that really just a fun place to be. But keep in mind, we have seen, like, I don't know, I'll need to recalculate the exact number with the most recent changes, but we've seen insane gains on some of those. More than 100x. More than one just within the last 12 months. That's pretty dang insane. We've also seen some huge big gainers that have been 10x, 2x, 3x, 4x, 5x. Most of our picks, more than 50%, have more than doubled within a week after being picked, which is insane to think about. So the Patreon is extremely successful if you are capitalizing on it. That does require some patience in times between picks, but if you do actually have that patience and you capitalize on it, then you can absolutely see huge success from the Patreon picks. Why? Because a ton of research goes into it. So definitely check out the Patreon. There's a link in the description and pinned comment. At the beginning of the month is the perfect time to join if there's still spots available. Anyway, I'm Wallace. This is Final Stand, and I will see you in the next video.